I'm scared that I'm faking everything that I'm doing for some sort of reason. Maybe all of this is an act. Maybe all of this is to get people to do things rather than an actual reason that helps me out. You know, there are plenty of things that could be going on, and I'm scared that I'm not going through the right path. Anyway, welcome to day 176 of my 365 day series. I'm Glorporous and I think about playing Minecraft. Alright, so for today's video, we are going to be continuing with, hold on a second, I'm gonna need to sleep because I really don't want mobs to really disrupt me in today's video. Anyway, we are going to be continuing with, wow, that is a very, these shaders are amazing, man. This little kit that I've made. Now it looks very lacking, and I understand that, you know, but this is a change and I really want to focus on it. So I'm gonna pull it up on my phone and I'm gonna try my best to recreate what I made in my single player world. Alright, so first order of business is getting a stone cutter, which I think I've already placed down over there. I really hope I have. Second order of business is let's talk about some sort of issue that I've been thinking about just recently. I'm afraid that I lack empathy. I'm afraid that whenever I do something, it's not necessarily for the greatest reasons ever. It might not be for healthy reasons at all. Anyway, hello, happy guest. I don't have any snowballs to feed these guys, but let's just hope they don't fly away, and if they do fly away, honestly, it's fine. I mean, you guys seem really friendly, and I don't have any lead, so I'm not gonna, like, bother to trap these guys anywhere, really. You guys can just stay right there, you know. And in the meantime, continuing about our conversation, or rather, my alone conversation, is empathy. Every human being that's human has empathy, and I think I also have empathy to a certain degree, but I feel like it might be a little bit lacking. It might be screwed up in a way, and I know it sounds weird. It is weird. And that's exactly why I really want to try to get into the guts of whatever it is I'm tackling right now. Anyway, where is my stone cutter? I did not place my stone cutter. Okay, it's right here. Jeez, alright. I did mention wanting to place some trees over here. I really do. I will eventually. I'll add another one even here. You know, make this whole area look pristine. And then the rest of this area a lot more open and a lot more, I don't know, but honestly, these look great, like just the shadows. As soon as I said that, it started raining, but honestly, that's fine. You know, it doesn't even matter much. It's hard to explain why I lack empathy, but I feel like whenever I interact with people, I don't immediately think like, oh, this person is reacting this way because of blah blah blah. You know, it's like it could be for a whole bunch of different weird reasons. I don't even really understand why, but it's just I feel like my personality doesn't come off as empathetic, and I really want to be, because I care about people, but I've made mistakes, and I am scarred by those mistakes, you could say. I've hurt people before, emotionally, you know, with arguments. I've tormented people in Discord servers, and I know I'm making it sound like a joke, but really it isn't. I used to have this Discord server with friends, and rather than, you know, treating them all fairly and whatever, I would kick them out whenever they did something I didn't agree with. I would say really bad words whenever, again, they do something that I don't agree with. And I'm scarred by the mistakes I made in the past. There's a lot that I really want to get into, but for my privacy, just for my own sake, I am going to withhold that information because it's a lot to take in. Um, but anyway, first of all, yeah, this build looks a little weird, but we're gonna get the hang of it. We're gonna get somewhere with this thing, and trust me, it is going to look fantastic once we have the whole layout done. I plan to finish this by tomorrow, just as a sort of disclosure day. I haven't watched that movie yet, but I heard it sucks, so I'm not gonna watch it anyway. Okay, let's take all of this scaffolding down. And like I said, thoughts of me not having empathy, of me potentially being some sort of wicked psychopath, that's something I'm always afraid of because I don't treat people the best. I'm not the best when it comes to conversation. I'm not the best when it comes to a whole bunch of things. I would say I'm fairly antisocial. Like, I wouldn't make an effort to reach out to new people. Thankfully I have. There's this, not necessarily new student, but there's this student that's new. Jeez, I really just contradicted myself there, but there's this student in my class that recently just enrolled into my school this year. Luckily, I managed to make friends with him. It's just, had there been like no friends around me to also help boost me along that path, I don't think I would have achieved that independently. I also need a whole bunch more walls, so we are going to in fact make an entire stack. Yeah, this is gonna take a while. I'm just gonna finish the whole layout and whatever, and once that's all done, we can call the video done. Also, my pacing is absolutely terrible. I feel like for the depth that I'm trying to achieve with all of these videos, I am really not great at speaking. And it's something that I've always wanted to change, but that it's off topic. It's not anything to do with empathy or whatever like that, right? Anyway, all right, let's see here. We need to place some more scaffolding over here, and then it's hard. I worry that I did this channel to gain fame only, and I also fear that when I do things or when I treat people, I might treat them not in exactly fair or reasonable ways, which makes them, feel underappreciated, make them feel bad or whatever. Like, I don't have the best relationship with my parents, really. I feel really distant with them. Whenever they speak about anything, it's like it doesn't click in my head. And it's sort of out of revenge, and it's so terrible to hear myself saying this. None of my parents really know what I'm up to. I have my own room, and I usually close the door whenever I'm playing games, and I think part of that has contributed significantly to like, my parents thinking like, this kid doesn't really want to speak that much, so we're gonna leave him be. My parents are very free, and that's a double-edged sword. I mentioned this in yesterday's video. Essentially, they don't really care about what it is I do, which sucks. I don't. Ow. Okay. Like, and they're not going to force me down a path that I may not fully enjoy. I think they're scared, and I'm also scared because I don't really have a stable example to base myself off of, right? So it makes things more difficult for me. Is this meant to look like this? I'm being real honest. I think it is. So now we gotta do this back part. Just mark this whole area. Oh, nope, did not mean to do that. And I think that that as well. I think the way a person ends up in their future depends heavily on how their parents raises them. And my parents, they're not they're certainly not the best. I'm grateful for certain things that they've done, and I'm also ungrateful for certain things that they have also done. Being very vague here, but I'm hoping that you have some sort of experience that relates to this, even vaguely, even like very disconnectedly. Anyway, now this actually looks fairly good. We go through here and then we enter the small village. Now, the reason I'm calling it small is because this is a normal size gate. I might be making a mega base. I also might not be making a mega base, but later on, I'm going to be making a whole palace, at least this tall, which is very vague, but hopefully you understand, like double this height. It's turning nighttime. Really hope monsters don't spawn. And jeez, I lost track of what I was saying. Oh no. What was it that I was saying? Right, how parents raise their kids, right? It's a huge factor. Like, I think a lot of the unique traits, oh, it's a rainbow, that's very beautiful. The unique traits that people have can be correlated, or like, how do you say this? Connected back to the way their parents treated them. You know, if they were very forceful, then maybe they'll look for an escape, and they might even be more ambitious. Honestly, it's weird, but it also depends partly on the kid. Alright, and I'm speaking in third person here, but I'm gonna switch to first person. Now I'm focusing on myself. Seems a little bit narcissistic, but hold on a second. I'm afraid of a lot of things. I'm afraid that I've made far too many mistakes to redeem myself. Not, I don't know, this sounds religious, but I'm not religious, really. I'm not a huge fan, sorry. If you're religious and you're watching these videos thinking that I might be religious, you know, figuring my thoughts out, but really, I am not. Anyway, because, you know, topics like those always, I feel like they bring up some sort of drama, even though the people involved may not always intend to be in such way. It's just that's the way things are. I'm really steering off the rails here. Like, I'm not speaking what I want to speak. But it's really difficult for me to just, when I see someone, I think like this is a person with their own feelings and their own thoughts. I, like, most of the time, I only think about what this person means to me, which is, I will admit, a very selfish thing for me. You know, even maybe one of you guys, I might have commented under your, replied under your comment like one time, like a long time ago, and even though I might have phrased it very nice or whatever, it's not always me. If you understand, you don't understand. But like, when I see those comments, I don't see people sometimes. I just see text. You know, I don't really think like, oh, there's a person behind all of this that was willing to speak about this issue that I've had for ages. speak up about their own issues. And yeah, you see where I'm going with this, right? It's not the healthiest habit ever, and I really want to change it. I really do, because deep down, I feel like there's a part of me that can empathize. Not feel everyone for what they can serve me, which honestly speaking now sounds like I'm a very entitled kid, but really, maybe I am. Maybe I am. I'll admit it. I don't. It's a really difficult thing to articulate, so I'm gonna skip over it for another day. But if you're diligently following along these videos, then keep a mental note, because maybe that might come up. It's just I don't really have the mental capacity to speak about it. There we go. Okay, glowstone. That's what I was looking for. So we're about to end the video here. I know I didn't really speak about much, but yeah, that's what I wanted to speak about. It's just, it sounds silly, and it is silly. It's just, I feel guilty about it. Like I could have been this person, but really I was never this person. But I want to be more for the people around me. I just don't want to be some emotionless coward that's very dry in conversation, or is scared of giving off emotion and all of that. But anyway, emotion aside, yada yada, our kid, I know it looks ugly, but it does look better, and that in of itself is already pretty good. So I'm gonna probably connect these cobble walls over to this gate, this as well over to here, and then I'm gonna spice up this little build and make sure that it's textured and all of that. And finally we add some trees over there, and I'll just consider this whole area done. Maybe add some decorations here, maybe some shops or whatever, but really I could blitz through all of that in a single day. It's just I haven't put my mind towards it. I'm gonna fill this whole area with water. I'm gonna make a whole palace, which I know sounds difficult, but if you're worried about difficulty, you're never going to achieve it. You just need to yeah. So that's gonna be all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Here's one thing that I want to promise for today's video. The moment I wake up tomorrow, or technically today, because I'm recording this at 4:03 a.m. in the morning, whoever is the first person that I interact with, I'm going to not think about how they serve me, but I'm going to think about how they are as a person. Why exactly are they saying it in this way? What do they think of me? What came to that conclusion? The cognitive, the emotion, the status, and all of that. I crammed all of it into the end of the video, which really sucks, but that's just how I evaluate my thoughts, and I'm stretching this way too much out. I'm really sorry. So that's gonna be all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow, and bye bye.